Hi, it's Friday, and as promised, I was going to do a video on YouTube every Friday. Last week, I was very blessed with a lot of you guys that are my friends and family supporting me through subscribing to my channel, which I kind of need you guys to do. Have your friends do it too, because one of the things that I found out was that if you get 1,000 subscribers, you might start making some money, and this little plant mama needs some more money for her babies. And last week, when I first started, there was a lot of things, you don't know what you're doing exactly until you just do it. And I noticed I pointed out one of my things on the table that you guys didn't see, and it was my little teapot set. And here's my teapot set, and I was so disappointed that you guys didn't get to see it that I wanted to make sure to show it to you today. I have it on a tray in a macrame hanger above my window behind us here, and I took it down so that I could share it with you again today. But one of the ones that was in that you all didn't get to see that I was happy to show you was my frizzle sizzle. These things are one of my favorites, and I have a plant that I've had for like 3 years that it's doubled, it's starting to flower. You can see that I'm starting to get a flower on this one here, and these are getting kind of stringy because they're new growth and they're kind of reaching for the light. I even have some that has a little bit of brown tips. People ask me all the time, what about them brown tips? And I literally just clip it off with my fingernail and take that brown off because I don't like it either. And then one. You heard my cat last week. I even like plants with cat names, and this is called Calico Kitten, and this is a really fast grower. I put it in here, and it was way too long. You couldn't see any of this, and so I just decided I would propagate that, and so it's kind of starting over, but here's my plant that I didn't get to show you last week. And as I was telling you about the Calico Kitten, my cat tried to steal the show from me last week. You heard her meowing in the background, and here she's coming again. I baited her with her favorite blanket on my table here, so in hopes that she'll get up here and say hello to you. So I'm trying. But as most cats are, they don't want to be picked up or held, but yet they're lap cats and they want to be petted and massaged and all that good stuff. So hopefully she'll get up here and say hello to you, and you won't just hear her in the background. Okay, so back to last week. I did the Hoya propagation in a gallon bag. And last week, instead of this perlite, you saw where I'd done it on December 25th in regular soil with great results. This week, I'm showing you where on January 3rd, my birthday, I was playing with plants on my birthday. I put it in perlite. And I wanted to see what the difference was and how they would do between the soil and the perlite. And the perlite that I use, the perlite that I use is literally just the Miracle Grow perlite, a little plug for them. It seems to be easily, readily available to everybody. And so I did everything the same. I cut my pieces, I put my perlite in the bag, and then I moistened it, and then I massaged it up, and I made sure that it was evenly distributed. However, I got it too wet, and you'll see that I have some yellowish looking leaves in here, and I'll pull them out so that you can see them better. But I realized that, and so I took everything out. I realized it in a matter of maybe a week, and so I took everything out, and I added some more perlite and mixed it up to get some of that moisture out of there. So note to self, do not put too much water in there, okay? So you want to see how these are doing? Last week's had minimal roots with just the succulent soil from December 25th to January 15th. This week, perlite from January 3rd to today. Today is January 22nd. So 19 days. Did I do that right? 18? Okay. This time, I've got several different sizes in here. And you're going to see all that perlite that's on there. It'll rinse off with water, not a problem. But look at that. Look at them roots. I think perlite won. That is awesome, isn't it? You know, I said last week that the gallon bag was a game changer. Well, I'm telling you this week, the gallon bag with the perlite is even more of a game changer. And my little girl's coming, so she'll say hi in a minute. This one, you'll see that I've got a little bit of rootage there. She's on the table, but she's on the edge. She's getting closer, folks. She's getting nosy. Here's another one. And the funny thing to me, when I first pulled this out, was aren't roots brown? No, they're not. Only brown because of the dirt that's on them. They're actually white. I know, I'm learning things all the time. You know, I was like pulling this out like, is that roots? Yeah, that's roots. I took it to the sink, and then I even went and I took a Hoya from last week to the sink and rinsed it off. The roots are the same. It's just what's covering them. So today you see that there's white speckles all over everything. It's because it's in perlite. If I had had it in dirt, it wouldn't have nearly as much roots, but it would look more like roots than what you're used to seeing. And then I also did a bigger piece. I'm excited about this big piece. The other day when I mixed the extra perlite with it, I saw this piece and it took everything I had not to go ahead and plant it right that second. But look at that. This great big piece I thought would take longer, and I was prepared to wait, but Mother Nature rewarded me. And look at all that. Look, all them roots. Mama's going to plant this baby today. And then the last two, I took the time to take them all out because I was just so excited. This one's not as good, but like I told you last week, I was crowding my bags, and admittedly, some of them were not getting completely into the soil. So, you know, this could be it wasn't completely in the soil, and these were. So don't be a tight ass like I am. Fill this bag up as full as you can. Put them down in there as full as you can, as far as you can, so that you'll get your roots as fast as possible. I've heard some talk about another type. It's a little ball thing that you get wet. I probably can't pronounce it, so I'm unsure as to what it's called, to be honest with you. But I did look it up one time, and it was fairly expensive. And so it's not anything I'm going to try. It's just outside of my price range. Miracle Grow, $5 a bag, perlite. You can order it in bulk. You can just get one bag at a time. Who doesn't have $5 that you can throw in with a box of gallon bags? And for $6, you have yourself a propagation station. Before you know it, you're going to have the shelves above the washer and dryer in the laundry room full of bag-to-bag baggies like I do, because I'm trying all sorts of things with these bags. Now, back to last week. See these babies? These are last week's ones that I showed you that were rooting in dirt. And I went ahead and I potted them up in some plastic terracotta looking pots that I bought off of Amazon. And I've left it, I potted it last week, and I left it in the bag, or I re-put it back in the bag, a bigger bag, so that I could keep it sealed so it could get used to the pot in the environment it was used to being in. I hope that makes sense. And I'm really happy with them. I did go ahead and take these downstairs because I'm running out of room above the washer and dryer on the shelves. And I took these downstairs into my plant room. And I didn't even put them under a light because I don't have enough space. I just set them kind of on the floor where they were kind of getting, you know, just the shadow of the light. I don't even know what word I'm looking for, if I'm being honest. But I wanted to show you how good they're looking. I mean, you can see the variegated one here. I didn't have very many variegated cuttings because the lady that I got this plant from had died, and I don't know how long she'd been gone, but the plants were severely dehydrated. I mean, you couldn't tell by looking at their leaves because, you know, they're a succulent. It's a Hoya. They're obviously resistant to, you know, drying out and shriveling up, but they were very, very dry. And so a lot of times when plants are not in the condition that they want to be in, if they were originally variegated, they're going to lose that variegation. And one of the pieces that broke off that I decided to variegate happened to have, that I decided to propagate, not variegate, had some of the variegation on it. And I was so pleased for that, you know, to see the different ones come up with the variegation. And I noticed on one of my other mother plants, because I did get two, I got three. I shared one with my friend, my plant friend, you know, that we're always giving one more plant to. I shared with her. And then one of them that I have has a lot of this variegation. The other one does not. And the big one that I have on the macrame planter that you can't see, I noticed the other day, I got home early, it was about 4:30, and I was getting some light in the kitchen that I'm never home at that time, so I didn't realize it was shining right on that plant. And I could see where it was hitting the leaves, how it was starting to get its color back. And I was like, oh, I went into the other room and I told John, I was like, my babies like it where it is. You can never move that plant. It's in the way. We walked past it between the dining room and the kitchen, and it was only supposed to be temporary, but it's now become a permanent spot. So this is it on the actual Hoya part. I want you to know that I really appreciate that you guys came back to see me again. I did have some requests to do something on jade propagation next week, and I do have several jades. I didn't really want to propagate them because I've already done that, but I am going to do a video and maybe not do a lot of that, but show you the different kinds of jade. That'll be next week. But I also had a lot of comments about my plants, so I want to kind of show you. I know I showed you the tea set, but I don't want to say goodbye until I show you some of my babies. As a plant mom and mother of boys who are grown-ass men now, always wanted a little girl, and someday I might get a granddaughter. I doubt it, but someday I might. Diana, Luke, I hope you're hearing me because I need a little girl in my life. Anyways, this is my mini-me. Red is her favorite color too. And my sister bought this for me, so it's so appropriate. Don't you like her funky hair? I love it. The only thing is she doesn't have gray hair yet, but by the time she's 18, 21, she will. I got my beautiful Chinese evergreen. My plant friend and I went shopping recently, and we both got one of these beauties. And I've got it in this. You got to see this. I don't know what this is, but isn't that the coolest galvanized container you've ever seen in your life? And I just took the pot and I set it inside there. I wasn't about to fill all this with dirt because the nursery pot is absolutely fine at this time. The other thing that you guys didn't get to see that I absolutely love is this little guy. I went to the farm for Christmas, and this is my gift. I went home and I got a gift, and I put Little Hope philodendron in here, and I just love her. And my cat's coming a little closer, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you. Okay. This is Precious. She's one of the twins. Don't like to be held. My son, many years ago, saved a family, a mother, and 3 kittens. Very proud of him for that. He knew that they were not going to have a good life, and he brought them home. My friend Laura, she adopted one of them. Luke kept trying to find mothers for the 2 babies, and I'm like, stop that, child. If you want to keep these cats, you got to stop trying to find a home for them. And I call them the twins, even though the other one thinks he's a rabbit, always laying on his back with his feet in the air. This one's name is Precious for obvious reasons. I'm sorry you didn't get to say a real good hello to her, but I am grateful that you came and saw me. And again, please subscribe. This plant mama needs some new windows for her babies. And if you know a friend that might enjoy this, share it with them. I really appreciate that. And I got Antillas. Oh, yes, my friend's telling me that I should remind you where I cut the Hoya to propagate it. And basically what I did there, it's a good thing she's here paying attention to me, right? Let's backpedal a little bit. I basically, anything that broke off, I would cut at the top like this. I would have cut right there and then put that in the dirt. Anywhere that there was a long stem, I would cut it, and somehow miraculously the leaves or the roots would develop. So I think this is probably the easiest plant I've ever propagated in my life, and that's not what I found online when I first got this plant. So I'm just happy that it came easy for me, and I hope that it will inspire you to try a plant that you haven't tried before. And if you've killed one of these plants, I want you to get out and buy another one. There's all sorts of sellers, all sorts. Etsy, eBay, Facebook has tons of them, and there's a lot of stores online. So do what you can to get yourself another Hoya. Take good care of it, or get your first one and take good care of it. But if it dies on you, don't give up. Do not give up. If you have the love in your heart, you will make them babies thrive. Learn something from when you did something wrong and killed it. Learn something from that. Did you overwater it? Did you underwater it? Did you give it enough light? Think about what you did and correct that and move on. Again, happy Friday. I'm so glad that you came and saw me. Have a good one.